So don't doubt, man. Most High is angry with these people every day, man. When every day passes, when the sun arises, and when the sun sets, Most High is angry every day, man. But the reason why he's not going to do anything, because there is a time and a judgment to everything done under the sun. There is a time and a judgment. In that Isaiah.
That's the one. This is Psalm 7, verse 12. If he turn not, he will whet his sword, and he hath bent his bow, and made it ready. He hath also prepared for him the instrument of death.
Read that again.
He hath also prepared for him the instruments of death.
The instruments of death is talking about the nuclear missile. Read that verse again.
It says, he hath also prepared for him the instruments of death, and he ordaineth his arrows against the persecutors.
See, the instruments of death are the arrows, man. See, the arrows, see, when the prophet Isaiah saw the missiles, he likened them to arrows, man. Because that's what they look like. Nuclear missiles look like arrows. You see them big gigantic missiles flying from the sky. They're slowing. See see the missiles flying from the sky? Describe them as being arrows or was it weapons or what?
Yeah, instruments of death.
The instruments of death, because that's what the nuclear missile is, man. And don't fear those missiles, man, because those missiles are the work of the Lord, man. They're gonna perform the work of the Lord against these proud devils, man. These proud peoples, man. Because these so-called white people, they think they're better than us, man. They taught that equality talk, but that's all rubbish, man. They think that they're better than us, man. I'm gonna stop cursing out these devils, I'll be back. You know? Devils, man.
Actually, we did have a
Psalm 7 and 14. Behold, he travaileth with iniquity, and hath conceived mischief, and hath brought forth falsehood. He made a pit and digged it, and is fallen into the ditch which he made. His mischief shall return upon his own head. His violent dealings shall come down upon his own pet.
Good, man. Hear that? Violent dealing is going to come to visit you. Yeah, and you Edomites should hear this, man. You should be up here pulling seats, man, and hearing this, man. I should see a big assembly of Edomites, your bald heads, man, and your wives, and your children. Let's hear the word of the Lord. You know, that's what we should all be here, man, hearing this. Read that again.
Behold, he travaileth with iniquity, and hath conceived mischief.
He travails with iniquity, man. When him bringing forth, that's what he brings forth, man. Man.
And hath conceived mischief,
and conceived mischief, man.
And brought forth falsehood.
That's what you so-called white people have done. Falsehood. That's all you do. Lies all the time, man. You find some way to pervert truth. To turn good into evil. And turn evil into good. You've always did that, man. You so-called Europeans. You've always found a way to pervert what's right, man. Always, man. Man, man.
He made a pit and digged it, and is fallen into the ditch which he made.
He made a pit and digged it. Yeah, because you devils, you want to form your new world order. You're digging your pit. Okay, already you dug your pit when you made America, man. The second you came over to the Americas and started slaughtering Gad, slaughtering Ephraim, I mean, all the tribes, the northern kingdom, you started slaughtering them to the point of near extinction. and then you brought over Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and you brought them over here, and you made them build America. That's the second you start digging your pit, man. You devils, man. Where? Bro. You don't go back to Isaiah.
Verse 16, his mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealings shall come down upon his own pate.
So the scripture said that your mischief shall return upon your own head, man. Because you so-called Europeans, you're mischief makers, man. Go around the earth, starting trouble with everybody, man. Telling people what to do with their own society. Enslaving other races of people and forcing them to build your own kingdom. And then demonizing them like they're the troublemakers when you're the one putting drugs and guns into their communities, man. So you so-called Europeans, you so-called white people, you're the mischief makers on the planet, man. You're the real terrorists, man. You're the real murderers. You're the real homosexuals. You're the real vile, filthy people of the planet Earth. Everybody else is a terrorist except you. How does that work out? We're terrorists, but not you. The little old Negro in the ghetto, you know what I'm saying, stealing a little purse to feed himself. He's a terrorist, but not you. Not the guy that's dropping bombs, wiping out cities, man. He ain't the terrorist.
Killing
men, women, and children. He ain't the terrorist, though. You damn devils, you so-called white people have a lot to pay for in this world, man.
This is Malachi 1.
You have a lot to pay for.
Verse 4. It says, matter of fact, I'll stop in verse 2. I have loved you, saith the Lord.
The scripture said the Most High loved us.
Where ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord?
So you Negroes are like, how the God love us, man? I got weave in my head. How God loved me. The black woman like, how God loved. That's why she had the abortion killing, man. Killing off the black man's children by the hundreds, man. Every day. Every day. She's the biggest murderer of black people. The black woman, man. Because her mentality is, how's God love me? Go ahead.
Yeah, I love Jacob and I hated Esau.
See, the Most High hate you so-called white people, man. You think God loves you because you're in power. Your mentality, of course God loves me. I mean, you see how, well, look what I have to show for my, of course God loves me. You know, God has blessed me. You're right, God blessed me. But for a purpose, man. To be the sword of the Proverbs 16.
You know, I had that, man. This is our Proverbs 16.
We're terrorists, man. Why are we terrorists? We're speaking out for justice, man. So when the poor, wise man speaks out about justice, he's a terrorist. How does that work? Go ahead, man.
This is Proverbs 16, verse 4. And the Lord hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil.
So the Most High made you so-called Europeans, man. You're the wicked. All your money, all the money that you got from slavery, you're the wicked, man. The reason why the so-called white man is so confident is because he's got that money. But you got that money from slavery, man. And you gotta pay for all of that. Okay? You're not exempt from judgment, man. How you gonna smile?
You know, though, man, you know, hey,
What are you
man,
happy about? Come on, you're going slave.
that's what it is, you know,
Cause she gonna smile. That's how the devil, he's a killer, he's a murderer, and he said, oh, yeah, but I'm happy. Damn right.
but you know, though, he ain't got no choice but to smile, really, because at the end of the day, man, you know, the dirt has already been done, and really, all we're bringing to you is just we're opening up the books. We're revealing that it was done, and it has to come out, man. It has to come out, you know. And the thing about it is we're not going to stand out here and you know, like them suit and tie wearers in the church. So everybody can be saved. Hallelujah. Now we're gonna go in depth with what this Bible is all about, man. Okay, and in this Bible you have nations. You have a nation of people that was set up to be the wicked, and you got a nation of people that was set up to be the righteous. That's how we're dealing, because all we're doing is we're teaching what the Bible is actually saying. Okay, unlike Christianity, they teach some mythical madness. Okay, like for example, the virgin birth, things of that nature. They also teach how they teach that universal doctrine, which goes back to the Catholic institution. Okay, and the reason, like you said earlier, brother, the reason why they got all of those members inside the church, because they want to get that money, they want to get paid. Okay, that's all it is. And really what it is they want to stop the truth from getting out, man. All right, because matter of fact, give me Matthew 24, because you're going to have false teachers in the last days. But the real men of the Lord, they're going to basically tell you that the so-called Europeans are the nation of Esau and Edom. And then at the same time, you're going to tell them that they're a wicked nation. You know? Yeah, I'm going to get that, yeah, my bad. Yeah, get me Matthew 24. Yeah, start from, it says, many shall be deceived. No, this is, what are Hebrew Israelites?
Oh, you don't know where the pizza is?
I thought she was trying to inquire about this. Matthew 24.
Where they say like false, what?
Yeah, many shall be deceived in my name. Many shall be. Oh, you got it. Keep going.
So Matthew 24 and 11. And many false prophets shall arise and shall deceive many.
Right.
And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
Yeah, and the love of many shall wax cold. It says, many shall be deceived by my name. Okay, by them calling the name. Okay, or coming in the name, but they're not actually of the Lord. Because in order for you to be a Christian or a Christ, you have to be anointed. So we're the anointed ones doing the Lord's work. Okay, and in this Bible, when you deal with this Bible shows you in detail and specifics what nation you may come from. All right, and by proxy, by elimination, Esau, all right, the so-called Europeans, they've proven themselves and they've backed the Bible up to be the exact. Okay, because Esau was going to come out and he was born with the sword, and with that sword he was going to kill millions and millions of people. And that's what he's been doing all the way, because I even did a little research. I even did some research when in America around the 19th century. Matter of fact, before the 19th century, from the 18th century all the way to the 19th century, America has always been at war. Okay, I believe it was throughout the 234 years, America's been at war, from the Native Indians, from whatever consecutive tribe they call themselves, all up to this present moment. Okay, and even during ancient Rome, they was at war. All right, and even it tells you in the book of Maccabees, where it speaks about how the Greeks, when the Greeks came into power, evils multiplied. So we're only dealing with it from a realistic standpoint of view, and a biblical standpoint of view. That the so-called white man, he's proven himself time after time that he's the devil, man, and he's the wicked. And if he don't come out of power, we're all gonna be dead. Okay? So that's where we're coming from, man. We're going.
So, that's all for real, man.
Back to exactly. That's what she said.
I want to get this out real quick. This is St. John 17, verse 14. I have given them thy word, and the world have hated them, because they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. Right, the scripture said, and when we given this word, so before we came to this truth, we were always at odds with this world. We just knew something wasn't right about this world, man. I'm on my job and I'm being bossed around by a goddamn woman. I just do that shit on rap, man. You know what I'm trying to say? I watch slavery movies about slavery and see white people doing all this madness to us, and it made me cry. And then when I switch on the internet and I watch brothers speaking out against the so-called white man for the things he did, I was like, yeah, I'm down with that, man. I like the spirit of that, I'm flowing with that. You know? So when the scripture says, I've given them thy word, and the world has hated them, because when we come out here, profess and condemning the people of the darkness that refuse to come to the light, we condemn them, but the people of the darkness, they hate us, man. That's why the scripture say what? And the world have hated them. They call us terrorists. Oh, you guys are Muslims. You're terrorists. Simply because they see a beard on our face and a garment on the Saith. You know what I'm saying? You got men in the world that are straight off faggots, man, and they got big beards on their face. So it's not, you're not a terrorist just because you have a beard, man. You know? It's because we're godly, man. Somebody who's godly is a terrorist. Godliness is terrorism in the eyes of the so-called white man. Because he's the devil. You know, he's the ungodly. So anybody that is godly, he's going to find some way to demonize them. Or you're a terrorist because you believe in God. Anybody that shows and stands up for their faith is a terrorist. Anybody has a beard on their face and speaks out against the perversion and the corruption in this world is automatically a terrorist. A hater of this society. And if you can't say I'm a hater of the society, I agree with that. I am. Okay? Because it ain't nothing but I'm angry every day, man. Every day I'm mad. Okay? And I go around, feel me? And I see the people, and I see how arrogant people are in the street. I think a day's gonna come where the Most High gonna humble you. You are going to be humbled. You're not going to have pride or arrogance. When you're desperate and you're starving, you're not proud. You're not showing off, man. You're not arrogant no more. I see these women, they'll guard you in the street, you know. You will guard you. You're walking. Before I just met my brother today, I was just walking through there, and a woman, because I could see her looking at me from the corner of her eye, and I knew I ain't gonna look at her. So she thought, let me get his attention. Barge me. I'm thinking, no what? Just leave her alone. Just leave her alone. Because the other day, I nearly got into a fight with a bitch in Baker Street, man. Because I was riding on my back, I went through the red lights, and she ran past and called me a cunt. So I said to myself, okay, I rolled back through the lights, I went around the corner in front of them, and said, what the fuck you call me? And she went on the other side of the lights. And I followed her, I tapped her on the back and said, hey, what do you call me? And she was all shaking and she was all shaking and said, you know what I call you? You know what I call you? He said, relax, you really could kill someone. I said, are you dead? And she was like, then I was rolled off, man. I was rolled off. You know what I'm saying? These bitches, man, they think they can do what they like, man. And there's no justice in it, man. And then you got effeminate men that will defend them, man. That's the part that angers me. It's the amount of effeminate men out here, man, that defend bullshit, man. So you damn right I want to stand out here and condemn the works of this place, man. Because they ain't right, man. There's no justice in it.
I got you. Yeah, this is Psalm 71. Verse 1, it says, in thee, O Lord, do I put my trust. Let me never be put to confusion. Deliver me in thy righteousness, and cause me to escape. Incline thy ear unto me, and save me. Be thou my strong habitation, whereunto I may continually resort. Thou hast given commandments to save me, for thou art my rock and my fortress. Deliver me, O my power, out of the hand of the wicked.
Exactly, man. And that's what we put our trust in. Sometimes you get no angry sometimes you get so angry, you got no other choice but to trust in the Lord, man. You got no other choice, man. Because you're not gonna go to some man and he's gonna bring justice, man. There's no man out here that's gonna bring justice, man. The only person that is gonna bring justice is Yahweh, man, and his son Yahweh Shai. So you grit your teeth. You're like, you know what, man? The Most High come and visit this place, man. He's gonna kill these people, man. You know? You shouldn't say, I think that was a good one, man. You know, so basically anybody that believes that is a terrorist. Go ahead, man. What's up?
That's Isaiah 2:10.
Yeah.
Enter into the rock and hide thee in the dust, for the fear of the Lord and for the glory of his majesty. The lofty look of man shall be humbled.
The lofty looks of man shall be humbled, man. Because they're lofty. You see people walking around, they got this prideful confidence. You know what I'm saying? These people, man. And the scriptures say your day is about a handbreadth, man. It's but a shadow. But people, they're so, what business have you got to be proud? You got mucus coming out your nose, your fart stinks, or your breath smells. Okay? Your woman is a hoe, she's already been popped by several different men. You know what I'm saying? Her breath smells. She's got belly rolls. So how are you gonna be proud, man?
Looking like a Bengal tiger and shit.
Okay? Proud, man. Here it is, you got a national security number, an NIA number, but you're proud. That's vanity, man. Now you got a car, you're proud about your car, but that's vanity. Because the days gonna come when you won't have no petrol to run your car. Your car's gonna be left out in the street. A damn a mountain bike is gonna be more useful in that day than a damn car, man. You ain't need no petrol to start no bike. Brother, talk about it, man. People are gonna be killing one another over bikes, man. Over bikes. Because you can ride a bike with martial law, you can still ride around, go through alleyways and shit. But it's quiet, isn't it? It's quiet, you know what I'm saying? People will be drop kicking people off bikes, stealing bikes. They're doing it now. So how much more when all hell breaks loose, bro? You know? People are going to be breaking into these stores for bikes, man, to get about, man. So the skateboards and bikes people are going to be using. It's trolleys as well, man. Yeah, man.
And the haughtiness of men shall be bowed down, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day.
See what I'm saying? That's the only thing that matters, man. That's the only thing that matters. The scripture says the Lord shall be what?
Shall be exalted in that day.
You know what I'm trying to say? And the only people that's going to really take pride in this truth and in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is the brothers that has been out here, man. And we've been out here, man. Sighing and crying, man. In that day. The scripture says the lofty looks of man shall be humbled. When the time of martial law, when martial law gets declared in these streets, when they shut down London, when they shut down Manchester, when they shut down Leeds, when they shut down Liverpool, when they shut down Glasgow, okay, when they shut down Wales, people are gonna be terrified, man. They'll be bugging out, man. People are gonna be stacking up on food. People are gonna be stacking, man.
You know
what I'm saying?
I don't cut you too, brother, right? I'm gonna get back to you. Because the thing about it is what I understand is that in England alone, and it's like America as well, like when you go to certain states got like a level of pride in them, and certain states have like a level of, you know, just everything's cool, you know, they're not looking at what we're doing, you know. And it's like that, like where I'm at, you know, up north in that, like it's just relaxed, it's cool. Ain't nobody walking around proud, but really what it is that, like when you go to places like New York City or London, it's an extravagance of pride, you know. There's an abundance of pride because England, I mean not England, but the main cities of this society pretty much exalts pride. Okay, you gotta be on something. Okay, you got to be driving this car to impress the next person that you don't even know. You know what I mean? And that's why it tells you in the Apocrypha that the lofty city shall be destroyed, man. I'm going to just read that and I'm going to give it back to the brother. Okay, you go.
Verse 12.
Actually, but just real quick. It's just one verse anyway. It says, 2nd Ezra 15, verse, I think it's, yeah, here it is right here. It says, this is 2nd Ezra 15, verse 18. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. You see? So that's what it's all going to go down to. The most prideful cities are going to be the most desolate, and London is going to be highly desolate, man. New York is going to be highly desolate, man. You understand? And that's what it's all going to get down to, like the brother was talking about. And we're not going to do anything because you got these dumbos out here because they see they see a couple of men with beards on their face. They automatically assume we're Muslims. You know, and I understand one thing, like, you know, the majority of you people don't really think. A lot of these don't think, so a lot of these are just going based on what the media tells you, and that's it. You don't think. You just look at somebody and you prejudge them. Okay? And that's just the thing, man. I would go back to the let's go back.
Yes, Mischief. It's Isaiah 2 and 12. For the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty, and upon everyone that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low.
Can't wait, man. When that time comes, that's when you truly gotta turn up the ammunition in your faith, man. The faith ammunition. There's gonna be pain, man. I know what it's like to starve, man. You know, you waiting for your paycheck and it don't come. You know how angry you get, man? Just for a couple of, you know, you get paid after 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. on a Monday or evening. You're waiting by the cash point for that money because your money probably died out 2 days before. So you're there by the cash point thinking, yeah, I'm going to get something. You don't see it. You get angry, man. You start calling on the people, say, where's my money?